Hey guys, my name is Grace, and I recently uncovered a secret that my parents hid from me all my life. The thing is, I've always felt loved by my family. Every morning during breakfast, we would plan our evening together, and every night at dinner, they'd ask me how school went. I was free to voice my opinion about everything, and they didn't try to sugarcoat the truth about any of the adult stuff. So I was seriously shocked when I uncovered this one secret that they managed to hide from me for all these years. I was 15 when this bombshell dropped on me. My sophomore biology class was studying genetics, and my teacher decided to use eye color as an example of recessive genes. She said, "Two blue-eyed parents would never have a brown-eyed child. It's genetically impossible." I immediately raised my hand, but my parents have blue eyes and I have brown, so it's not always the case. The whole class looked at me like I'm crazy. Then during lunch, all of my friends were laughing that my mom probably had an affair with a neighbor or something. We laughed it off and I just kind of figured that I'm the exception. Naive, right? Anyways, I came back from school and we were having dinner. It started kind of casual with my mother asking, "How was school, sweetie?" I told her that I had this hard test coming up, and then I remembered the discussion we had in biology. I said, "Oh, we discussed genetics in biology. The teacher pointed out that I can't have brown eyes because both of you have blue eyes." I continued to tell them how it all went down when I saw my mom tearing up. She was looking at my father. He was looking at her. It all got very serious very soon. They turned to me at the same time. My mom said, "Grace, I want to tell you we love you, and nothing will ever change that. You're our daughter, always were, and always will be." Mom's voice started cracking, so my father finished the sentence for her. "We always wanted a child, but we couldn't get pregnant, so we decided to adopt." I felt my heart stop for a moment. I knew where this was going. The first time we saw your beautiful brown eyes and that smile, we knew you were our daughter. My head was spinning. I felt anger, sadness, gratitude, all at the same time. Then we all cried for a solid 10 minutes. I asked about a million questions: who my biological parents were, why they decided to keep it from me. My parents told me that my biological mother was kind of a mess at the time. She was homeless, unstable, and she told the adoption agency that she didn't want to see me again. It took some time for me to come to terms with the fact that my biological mother would stay a mystery to me. But after a while, we were back into our routine, having breakfast together and laughing. But it all unraveled again, and this time, my life changed for good. My father's birthday was coming up, so we decided that it would be cool for all of us to go on a trip, maybe even Europe. As we travel quite rarely, my passport was hidden away somewhere with other documents and albums. I wanted to prepare in advance, so I was going through all the stuff when I found an old picture album. It had an old envelope sticking out. I was curious, so I decided to look at what's inside. It was addressed to my little girl, and it seemed to be written a long time ago. I started reading it, and after a couple sentences, I understood. This is about me. This is addressed to me, and it's written by my biological mother. Turns out, she wanted to see me and have a relationship with me. I knew I shouldn't have made any rash decisions, but at the moment, I hated my parents for hiding it. It was Friday. They were at work, and they wouldn't be home for a couple of hours. I checked the address on the letter, packed my bag, and hopped on the bus that took me all the way to another part of the city. And here I was, standing in front of her house with her letter in my hand. I felt my hand trembling, but I tried to keep myself together. I walked to the door and rang the bell, my heart pounding. Doors opened and I braced myself. This is it. I will meet the woman who gave birth to me. We will have dinner and talk. She'll probably be surprised yet really happy to see me. But it wasn't her. Some strange man opened the door, asking, "What do you want?" This was not at all how I imagined meeting my mom would be like. I showed him the letter, trying to explain that I was searching for my mom. So, turns out, my bio mom did live here, and this man was her ex-husband, and he was not at all happy to see me. I just said, sorry, and walked away. I was crushed. I cried all the way home. When I came back, my parents were sitting in the living room, worried. I told them everything, and we had a heart-to-heart talk. They told me that they were trying to protect me, but if I really wanted, they'd help me find her. Still, I spent the next day in bed, heartbroken by all of this. A year ago, I was a happy person, but now, after learning all of it, I felt like I lost a parent that I didn't know I had. But then, Sunday evening came, and it was full of surprises. I was packing my bags for our trip when our doorbell rang. I heard my mom shouting, "Grace, come downstairs!" I dropped everything and went out of my room. I was walking down the stairs when I saw her, my bio mom. She was standing near the stairs, tall and beautiful. She walked up to me, all nervous, and asked if she could hug me. She introduced herself to me, but I couldn't help feeling a little guilty. My parents were watching us, and I knew they didn't feel comfortable seeing us together. But my wonderful mom was so understanding. She invited Karen, my bio mom, to have dinner with us. I was looking at her intensely the whole time. My father cracked one of those dad jokes, and Karen started laughing. And then I saw she had dimples when she smiled and laughed, the same as me. Even though I just saw her, I felt an immediate connection to this woman. She smiled at me and said something like, "I know I'm not perfect, but I got myself together now, and I'd love to get to know you if you'll let me." She seemed so humble and kind. Even though it's still hard for me to grasp how anyone can leave their kid, I'm really glad that she finally found me, and I have a chance to know the woman who gave birth to me. My parents decided that I'm old enough to make my own decisions, and if I want Karen in my life, they'll approve of it. They even invited her to our Thanksgiving dinner. It's still hard for me to call her mom, but I'm incredibly happy to have her in my life. Now my family has gotten bigger, and as there are no secrets between us anymore,